figure I am in this other chapter's kind of short, so I'm going to finish this off before the husband comes home from work. Anyways, this is chapter 19. In my other streams, I'll probably release in these, and I'll go in from highest to lowest, and you'll see the other chapters and recordings also if you missed one and you're really interested, because this book really is interesting. I mean, I heard all the stuff, but I didn't know the inside information of it. All this JFK stuff. Juan Romero hears the deafening celebration. The 17-year-old busboy works in the kitchen at the Ambassador Hotel, a legendary local landmark long frequented by Hollywood celebrities, but on this night is not a movie star holding center stage. An entirely different sort of famous individual is gallivanting the hotel's embassy ballroom in the words of hope and reconciliation. His name is Robert Kennedy. He is running for president of the United States. It is election night for the California presidential primary. The polls closed 4 hours ago. All evening long, Romero has borne witness to the Kennedy faithful in their white Kennedy for President Panama hats, nervously awaiting results. Then finally cheers with elation as RFK is crowned the winner just before midnight. The room is in a frenzy as Bobby Kennedy addresses the audience in a lengthy and personal victory speech. His supporters on their feet and reporters standing in a large crush on the stage surrounding the candidate. Kennedy speaks about all that is now dividing America, the newfound realization the Vietnam War is unwinnable after the disastrous Tet Offense. The race riots in major cities in the wake of the murder of Dr. Martin Luther King, the division between poor and affluent, we can start to work together. We are a great country, Kennedy tells the crowd. A compassionate country, and I intend to make that my basis for winning. As the crowd cheers Kennedy off stage, John, Juan Romero is startled to see the candidate enter the kitchen. The awestruck busboy stretches his arm as far as he can go to get a handshake from this famous man. To Juan's delight, he feels Bobby Kennedy's palm and fingers wrap around his own. The handshake is brief, but one that Juan Romano will never forget. Then, in an instant, deafening sound of gunfires echoes off the kitchen walls. Bobby Kennedy falls backwards and sprawls onto the floor, his eyes closed and arms outspread. Romero wears black pants and white, colorless busboy shirt. Immediately kneels. He puts his hand under Kennedy's head to keep it from the cold concrete floor. The senator's lips are moving, so the busboy places his ear to Kennedy's mouth to hear what he's saying. Is everyone okay? RFK asks. Yes, everyone's okay, Romero answers. The busboy feels a warm stream of Kennedy's blood flowing through his fingers. From the embassy room comes a cry over to the same microphone. A candidate just used moments ago asking if there's a doctor in the room. John Romero has a string of rosary in his shirt pocket. He wraps them around Kennedy's right hand. He would need it more than me, the busboy later remembers thinking. Then they wheeled him away. They really had it. They were cleaning house, I guess. 1 year after the murder of Bobby Kennedy, on the other side of America is a member of the Jennifer's family named Fat Tony. Lauria wonders if his secret gay lifestyle will get him assassinated. Lauria and other members of the mob have no connections to the changing social mores of America in 1969. Organized crime remains what it has been, a money making machine, not interested in ideological politics. Gloria owns a bar catering to homosexuals in Christopher Street in Manhattan's Greenwich Village. This is not unusual in the mafia, for almost all gay establishments in New York are controlled by the mob. Fat Tony bought the Stonewall Inn and it is known in 1966 for $2,000. His parlor is Maddie, the house Ianso, who owns the Hay Market at Times Square. The Gilded Grape flavored by cross dressers and Peppermint Lounge. All gay bars in Manhattan. The Stonewall Inn was a low earning straight establishment at the time of Fat Tony's purchase, but Loria reopened as a gay bar. The establishment's name likely came from a memoir, The Stonewall, which featured graphic depictions of lesbian love and was published in the 1930s. The same year as original Stonewall Inn opened as a speakeasy masquerading as a tea room. Stonewall code the gay code the gay crowd known well. Now on the night of June 27th, Stonewall is packed with its usual mix of drag queens, openly gay men, and homosexuals still in the closet. Thick cigarette smoke hangs in the narrow room, and a jukebox plays dance music. There are two bars, and the walls are painted black. Plywood covers the windows to prevent any prying eyes of the police from seeing inside. The Stonewall is known as a great place to socialize, although some consider it too uptight. Most important, a bouncer stands at the double doors of the main entrance, not letting anyone inside until they have been scrutinized their people to ensure they are regular customers or at least have an appearance of being gay. Raids by the Lily Law in New York City Police occur at least once a month. At Fat Tony is extremely cautious about letting undercover officers inside the club. Today, more than lives up to his nickname. Once weighing in at 420 pounds, he was married and divorced and now lives with a gay Italian man. Though the two have never revealed the true nature of their relationship, sex with another man is forbidden in the mafia world. Fantonio could take a bullet to the head if his true sexual inclinations were discovered. Yet, while the mob forbids homosexual relations in their own, they are more than happy to profit from gay lifestyle. The mafia's involvement in prostitution is not limited to women. Keep your zipper open and your mouth shut is a saying often used among male prostitutes controlled by organized crime. It is establishments like the Stonewall Inn that provide the mob a lucrative source of income. However, it's tricky business. Homosexuality is not against the law, but serving alcohol openly gay customers is said to be a violation of state liquor authorities' ban on disorderly houses, and SLA refuses to license such establishment. To the mafia, this presents unique business opportunity. Instead of seeking legal permit to sell alcohol, a private bottle club is formed. All patrons are members and must sign in, most often using an alias. Fat Tony takes full advantage of his clientele because there is no running water behind the bar. Glasses are dumped into a sink after each use and simply wiped clean to reuse, sometimes leading to hepatitis. Everything in the house, from cigarette machine to jukebox, goes to the mob. And the bottled liquor is watered down, then resold to exorbitant to higher prices. Like the rest of the mafia, Tony Lucero had never had any use for Bobby Kennedy or Martin Luther King, the civil rights advocates slain within 2 months after each other in 1968. Kennedy was approved opponent bent on bringing down the mob, and this racial equality preached by MLK is totally rejected by La Costa Nostra. In fact, the mob is so racist that many of the social clubs have a strict no blacks policy. Jeez, they're very picky people. The Vietnam War may impassion others. For and against the conflict represents just another way of making money for organized crime. An estimated of 15 to 30% of American soldiers fighting in the war actively use illegal narcotics. The mafia is not too happy to continue providing them drugs upon is too happy to continue to provide them drugs on their return home. Of course they are. They want to make money. Things do not end well for Fat Tony Loria. His lifestyle eventually leaks out. Loria's father, a mob boss, disowns him. Eventually, Tony simply disappears. A message has been sent. I guess he don't like that his son was gay. The assassination of Robert Kennedy in Las Vegas once again opens the door to a growing number of conspiracy theories, much like what happened after the murder of JFK in 1963. Some of these involve organized crime. Mob leaders like Santo Trafficking and Carlos Marcello become the subject of scrutiny, but it is in New York that the mob turbulence reaches an all-time high. Shortly after the assassination of President Kennedy, Joseph Bonanno, leader of the crime family bearing his name, attempts a total takeover of 5 families. But when this ambition is discovered, the nationwide coalition of organized crime known as Commission takes action, declaring all-out war on Bonanno. Mob underboss Jasper DeGuerro and Paul Sacco are promoted to replace him. Joe Bonanno fights back. The deaths pile up one by one. Carlos Samario, a Bonanno soldier, is gunned down outside his home in Brooklyn. Another soldier, Joe Gladmore, is shot to death in Brooklyn as well. Vince, Jimmy Lefty, Cassie, and Vince Vinny Carroll Garofalo are gunned down in front of a bakery. Bonanno's bodyguards Salvatore Big Hank Cremone is shot dead while purchasing cigarettes at a candy store. But it is not Joe Bonanno's loyalists who die. 1967 Cypress Gardens Massacre. These DeGoro Sisla family capos are machine gunned to death in a Queens restaurant, and other soldiers from the family are also murdered. They're just cleaning a house. That's what it sounds like to me. It gets juicier and juicier. The bloody gang war lasts 6 years. It becomes so intense that Joe Bonanno flees to Arizona, but that does not stop the fighting. It is only after a series of bombings in Tucson targeting the crime boss that he officially steps aside in November 1968. He has led the family since 1931. At this time, Bonanno wears the commission's youngest ever boss. He was in charge when J. Edgar attention was focused on the names John Dillinger, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Bonnie and Clyde rather than the Mafia. He has been in power long enough to have played a role in every major underworld event since then. Havana, Appalachian, and Bobby Kennedy Senate hearings, Joe Bonanno has seen it all but now forcefully retired. The beginning of the 1970s marks a dramatic time for organized crime. The Banana Wars have just ended. The disarray and uncertainty that marred the conflict have led to distribution of the commissions, a breakdown of its authority. Soon the code of silence amare will be overlooked by some high-ranking mafia criminals, even though the death penalty for talking is still in effect. As traditional mob power changes, so does the behavior. However, one thing does not change. Talking about organized crime in public can get you killed. I would not want to mess with these people at all. I really give it up to them. But I'm gonna try to finish this up tomorrow because it's gonna be 7:30. I know that my husband's gonna come through the door. I mean, not the window, and he's gonna play his Xbox and get his game going. It's gonna be so loud, and I'm not gonna be able to do anything. So I will try to finish this and maybe do a little yarning tomorrow. So thank you for listening to me. And if you want to hear the other chapters, they're in the playlist. Like I said, just go from the highest to the lowest. And I'm trying to keep it all organized like a little library. So thank you for listening, and I hope everyone has a great day.